see how I do my 9 begonia pots that I do every year. The first thing you want to think about when you're doing your annual flowers, of course, pick which flower is best in your area, your local garden center. One flower that I like best is the dark-leafed red begonias that we have right over here. And we're going to show how you can plant those in a pot such as this. Over here by this doorway, I've already done 2 today. And we're going for this as the finished product. Okay, so what you want to do first is before you even begin planting and you've gone to the store, you've got to make sure that you check your local weather station or the weather channel and make sure that if it's has been a cold week, you may not want to go get them yet. Those flats have been sitting out and maybe rotted by now if you've had rain too, cold nights. So once you have a warmer day, go and select the plants that you want. Now, when you bring them home, again, check the weather channel, your local weather station. Make sure that you're going to have nights that are above 40s. You want 50-degree nights at least. If you're not going to have that, you need to hold them in. Bring them in during the day, out during the night, at night, and out, bring them back out during the day. If it's in like the 60s or 70s, 50s are okay, but I've had to hold these in for a week, so now I've started. What you want to first do, when you get started with your pot, you want to make sure that you have good drainage holes. A lot of these dew resin pots may not have them. You may have to drill them yourself. And so make sure then, once you have your drainage hole done, from the previous year, I always make sure I can see daylight in there. And you want to find a stick in the yard or something and just poke through there and get anything out. As you can see, I've done 2 today. What's happened? Ants have found this. There were no ants in there. You do not want all that. So I'm going to have to stop and clean out all these ants. I've gotten the drainage hole open and the ants taken care of. Any other bugs you want to make sure is out. Make sure there's no egg sacs, no nothing, because you do not want that in your dirt. Now, here's a tip that I learned, and I can't remember where I saw it or heard it from, but it is wonderful. You want to take a bounce sheet. These are used to take out static clean in your dryer if you're not familiar with it. You want to lay one of these in the bottom of your pot. Cover your drainage hole. Stick it to my gloves. And this one's harder to do than maybe something like this. So you have to really work with this one because it's going to cup on you. Once it's sticking in my cloth glove, so I think I'm going to quickly switch off I double glove my hands because a lot of times you get holes in your garden gloves. So I wear vinyl gloves too. They're wonderful. And they're better for when you need really almost just like your fingers when you go to put the actual plants in. Okay, so you got this cupped in here. You gotta really work with this one because it's got a small opening at the bottom. What you're gonna do is with a trowel, take some of your good garden soil, and I like to use the green Schultz bag. You can see it's light, it's fluffy, it's not like potting soil that's compacted. You want light, fluffy soil like this. Trust me, it's worth the money. You want to take a trowel and not dump the box. Why? You see how this is not really wanting to say where it's at. So you want to take a little bit of dirt, hold that down, and you kind of have to aim it on this one and let it drop in there. Make sure that no dirt is going to get around that. And you carefully keep working that same procedure, making sure that that bounce sheet stays as best you can, like that. What this allows is the water to drain out through this like a sieve almost, and you won't lose your dirt through the holes. You won't have, after you get gully washer storms one after the other, and your pot is just a messy, muddy pot of dirt. That will choke out your flower roots. It will kill your flowers, and you'll have root rot, and you'll be done. So this is a very important step. Don't miss it. In years past, you might have heard, oh, use a couple of rocks over your drainage holes, all I find that does is clog the holes and doesn't allow the water to go through. And that maybe that works in clay pots, I don't know. But for this, it's perfect because it allows all that water to run out, and it does not, you don't lose your dirt. It allows the dirt to stay in and that water to flow out, especially if you only have one drainage hole. Okay, I'm about ready to start another pot that I've already got filled up, so we can start putting the flowers in, and I'll show you how to do that. First, I want to show you what dirt that I like to use. For the main whole pot, I like to use Schultz enriched garden soil. It says for flowers and vegetables. And then at the top, right around the flowers, I like to use Miracle Grow moisture control potting mix. The key here is moisture control. This is a little bit even more expensive, but it is worth it. So I had a hernia surgery last year, so normally I would hoist these bags over or roll them over in a cart, but I gotta be careful and not be lifting so much. So we're gonna take some of this great dirt and I'll show you what I mean. Now, as I said before, I got 3 flats. I've got 9 pots. I'm gonna put 3 of each of these. That's something else you wanna figure out. How many pots you have, how many you want to put in before you get started. So I'm gonna put 3 of these in this other pot that I've already filled up with the dirt that we were doing before. I brought over some of the moisture control, the blue bag. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this at the top because this is going to really allow these plants to thrive even though they get hammered with storm. There's a storm coming up Wednesday. We're supposed to get a lot of rain. It'll be able to retain what it needs and then release it when it needs it. How do you get these out? One thing you want to remember is the pinch from the bottom. You've probably heard that before. I like to go ahead and pinch kind of all. Now they're kind of getting a little more dried out. It was windy today. These were a little bit more wetter. So once you've done that, you want to carefully hold that gently and see how that came out. You don't want to accidentally break off the whole plant. If you see any of the bad mildewy leaves, pitch those. So clean them up as you go. I'm going to kind of set these around. I'm starting to get most of the dirt put in. What I want to say is, again, you want to make sure you get dirt in between each one of the plants. You don't want to leave pockets of air. Why? The roots will dry out. So you got to make sure that you've got ample dirt in between each one, and then you go like this. You push it down in, tamp it in with your fingers. Make sure there's no air holes. Make sure, because I'm packing these pretty tight, way tight. Normally wouldn't need this many. In years past, I've done this probably, I don't know how many years, 9 years, 10 years. I would do a few, and sometimes they wouldn't fill in that great. So this is why I'm overpacking it. But what I want you to see is separate those and get the dirt in between, and then press. Another thing, look for the direction of the plant you want to go. If you have a bare spot, turn the plant so that fills it in. Let that leaf cascade over the edge, see? They all kind of have a good side and a front side, and they have, some are going this way, so turn it so that it fills, even completely fills in your pot. And I have just smashed one, like I just said not to do. When you're going through here and you're clamping down, I didn't realize that. Now you could, I have root tone. You could go root tone this and start a whole new plant. So I may save him over here. But you got to be careful when you're tamping down. You can't actually cut off the plant. Okay, now as you can see, I've got this done. Clean up your edge. What I want to say is come back the next day, especially after the first rain, because you'll see where you need to add dirt. This will really tamp down because it's light and fluffy right now. You may think you have it full, but you want to come back out and make sure that you don't have some plants that really need some more dirt around them. Kind of peek in there and make sure that you've got enough. Be careful you don't break anything off. And there you have it. Now, sometimes when you first look at it, you go, wow, I don't know. They'll start taking on their own, and it'll look more even, you know, they'll look more sturdy. They kind of got to get themselves acclimated. We're supposed to have some 70-degree days, even an 80. That's perfect. Nights are supposed to be in the 50s. So, now I know this is what, April, we've had some really early days. As you can see, my hostas over there are already completely up. So we've had some really mild weather, followed by some cold weather. So I'm just praying that we don't have any more 30-degree nights come on. And there you have it. 3 done, 6 to go. All right, now even though these needed it right on the roots, I'm going to take some and right on the top, just kind of go around that dirt and give them a nice little drink. Remember, fertilizing can go straight through the leaves. And I would not probably do this if this was, you have a, I've put flowers out before when it's like 80. I wouldn't do this, probably. I would probably go down here because that might kind of burn the leaves. But it's evening time, it's perfect, it's going to the night to give them a nice drink. There you go.